Let me be the bearer of bad news. Sportsbooks rarely mess up. And when they do, you need to be able to execute. This week we have two games where the sportsbook made an error in origination of their line, and we need to be able to take advantage. Let's hop straight in. The first game we're going to talk about is Saturday, an 11:30 kickoff between Miami and Virginia. Virginia is a team that sportsbooks have struggled to put a line on all year. As you can see at the bottom, they are 1-5 to the under so far this year, or 5-1 to the under, the margin of 13 points. So they've struggled to put a number on how good this offense is. We all had this kind of number early in the season that Virginia had the pieces to be the same explosive offense they have all year, and they just have not. So this number week to week continues to fall, and we see a number at 48 that we believe is way too low at this point. And why do we believe that? So looking at these two teams, this is a Miami and a Virginia team who play very fast paced. So they, on offense, seconds per play, are both top 25 teams in offensive tempo. When they have the ball, they are throwing the ball. So at the bottom left of our little graphic, you can see both these teams throw over 60% of the time, which coincides very well with an over as the explosive play and the stoppage of time. But even with these numbers, I still think that this is not enough of an argument here. The big thing for me is that Virginia throws the ball, 62.4% of the time, but it's actually a number that's probably much higher than that. As you can see, their quarterback is actually their leading rusher. So in some of these 37% of run plays, who knows? This could have been a pass play that turned into a run due to the fact that their offensive line stinks, or Armstrong had to scramble out of the pocket and make for himself. So you're talking a team that run or looks to pass the ball significantly more than run the ball. And granted, these two teams have put up 82 and 74 offensive snaps a game on average, with opponents ranking them in the 88th and 89th spot in seconds per play. So these teams continue to play slow-paced teams, yet they're getting off 73, 74, up to 82 plays in a game. And Miami has issues at the quarterback. Van Dyke got hurt last week. He has been seen practicing this week, but it's assumed that QB2 will take the spot. Miami's also off of a historic loss. They had 8 turnovers in their last game versus Duke, which is the most in an FBS game since 2009. So I expect Miami to be locked in here. The line has dropped too much week to week for Virginia, as we saw a game versus Georgia Tech close 47. And Miami just has so much more offensive upside. We've seen the absolute floor of Virginia, and I believe that the books are really having an issue lining Virginia here. The next one we're going to talk about is a absolute plug your nose and bet. The Temple Owls go to Navy to play the Navy Shipmen, and this one opened at circa 33.5 and is all the way up now to 41.5 at circa. So this is more of a play on the idea that I don't believe the originators at circa had that big of a discrepancy between what is wrong, and I think this is just too much overreaction to what Navy has done recently. So if you look at Navy's last 3 games, they combined for 74, 74, and 58 in their last 3 games versus 3 very high caliber offenses that wanted to push the pace. Unfortunately for Temple, they are not that. They're 129th in points per play. Navy is a 14-point favorite here at home. It just seems a game that this is going to go to Navy's pace, and they are 115th in seconds per play. So I don't expect many points here. I had this at 36. I'm going to have to take the under here. Those are the 2 games we believe you need to be betting in week 9. Behind me is a sheet that I post my sides and totals projections for every game that is applicable. I usually leave off quite a few if their spreads are just not worth noting. Check that out. It is on the Keep Betting Twitter. I will link it below. Hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And last week we did if someone can guess the highest margin ATS for the week 9, before games start on Saturday, we will give that person $200. So that is the highest margin overall. I believe last week it was Duke. Drop those in the comments below, and if anybody's right, we will send you $200. Lock in those 2 wagers. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, and good luck.